All right, today is August the 4th, and we are going to be starting our Policy Committee of the Whole. If we could, Ms. Amanda, please call the roll.
Mr. Piazza.
Here.
Mr. Anthony.
Here.
Mr. Westmoreland.
Present.
Ms. Abrams.
Here.
Ms. Dominguez.
Present.
Mr. Duncan.
Here.
Mr. Moore.
Here.
Ms. Richards. And Mr. Toller.
Here. All right, if you would please stand. Mr. Anthony, would you mind leading us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we got 3 items on the agenda tonight for the Policy Committee of Whole, starting with item A, consider the revisions of JCDAF bullying and hazing, which was tabled from the last board meeting. You want to tackle that or you want me to? I can't.
Up to you, sir.
So this revision was for a new cyber bullying section in our policy. It has gone to our attorneys. The attorneys have asked that this go to possibly forethought for further review. However, I left it on here for the board to decide whether they want to table it. And that way we wait for forethought, or if we want to enact it in the meantime until forethought brought something to the board. I would also like administrations to have time to review this as well, which with it being in forethought, it would give you all that opportunity as well.
As you mentioned, Mr. Piazza, Ms. Indigo reviewed everything, reviewed with the statutes and so forth. So she is fine with the board sending this to forethought for them to review also.
I'll move to table and refer to forethought for recommendation and also for the administration's recommendation.
Got a motion by Mr. Duncan to table and send to forethought, and a second from Mr. Moore. Do we have any discussion on this matter?
Only that it's an important topic. I think we need to make sure we do it right, and that by, I think, adopting this recommendation, we will make sure that we have a good, solid, enforceable policy. It would be the goal that addresses these concerns.
Anybody else for discussion? Any public input on this? No? Ms. Amanda, since we are tabling, I would like to call a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Piazza.
Yes.
Mr. Anthony.
Yes.
Mr. Westmoreland.
Yes.
Ms. Abrams.
Yes.
Ms. Dominguez.
Yes.
Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Toller.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, when the motion passes, the item will be tabled and referred to forethought and administration for further review. Moving on, we will go to item B, which will be consider revisions of policy DIC inventories, and I believe that's going to be Mr. McNeely.
This is pretty simple and straightforward. CC has asked us to align with what the federal guidelines are. They raised the limit from 5,000 to 10,000 for tagging fixed assets. So we're asking to make ours align with federal policy.
Motion to adopt.
Got a motion by Mr. Westmoreland and a second by Mr. Anthony.
Yes, sir.
Do I have any discussion on this item? Any public input? Mr. Duncan, did you have something?
No, I'm
Okay.
looking through it.
All right. Do I have any objections to this motion? All right, hearing none, we're going to go ahead and adopt this motion with no objection. We'll move on to item C, which will be consider the revisions of policy JS student fees. This was also tabled from the last meeting in reference to the administration having their meeting, and for Mr. Toller, since he was the original person to bring it to the board. Mr. Toller, the floor is yours.
I appreciate that. Yeah, the policy change, there was a move within the administration to go cashless, basically without our input. I understand. I live in 2026 like the rest of you, and I very seldom carry cash. So I understand that this is where our society's going. This is where our communities are going. But to completely rule cash out is not being fair to the public. And that's why, if you see the way I worded it, we'll encourage the use of cashless devices, but we'll still accept cash as monetary payment. Now, we've always done that. This is not anything new. We've always had to track cash. We've always had to safely store cash. We've always had to use accounting methods to make sure there will always be theft. If anybody understands the pains of dealing with cash, I worked at a car wash for nearly 20 years, stood in front of a cash counter a lot, and dealt and banded money, and it wasn't mine, but banded money and had to bring it to the bank. So I understand the complexities of cash. But just to, across the board, to say we're not accepting cash, and I'll give you one quick example on the north end. If you go to a Sumner High football game between 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock, if you try, and we've tried it, if you try to use the little iPads, there's two people out there with iPads, and there's a line all the way from the football field to the parking lot because service stinks. And people, our customers, our taxpayers, our parents, our grandparents are standing out on a gravel road trying to get into a football game. So then Coach Fussell, last year, we went to two lines, cash. So people that had cards could use this, and people that had cash, instantly, line went to nothing, and we got the game, everybody in the game before the game started. So that's what's driving me to this, besides the fact that I had to pay some $60 or $70 student fees or admin fees for Darby's cheer money, that I didn't have a choice in the matter. And my point is, we should be giving our customers the choice. We can encourage the use of cashless. We can put everything out there to make it easier for people to use cashless, but we should never turn away cash for a payment in our school system, because that may be all that somebody has in their pocket. That's my point for making this. I understand there's other policies and revisions that we're going to refer, but none of those are in conflict with this. None of our current policies are in conflict with this statement. We already have policies and procedures in place to handle cash in our buildings and to count for cash in our buildings. So the scare tactic of trying to tell us that this was in conflict was not true. This is not in conflict with any other policies. We can address other ones, and we can, if we want to make streamline or make better accounting practices to make sure we don't have theft, I understand all that. We can do that. But that's the gist of why I'm asking for this policy revision. That's my motion.
Second it.
So I got a motion by Mr. Toller and a second by Ms. Abram. Before we go into discussion, I do want to mention, because this item was tabled from another agenda item, that on the previous, when it was tabled, policies DIA, DFI, and DL were attached to that prior one. Those are going to be referred on the main board, so it was removed as the agenda item. I just want to make that clear in case somebody's watching and they saw that it was a little different from the original agenda item. But I do have a motion from Mr. Toller and a second by Ms. Abrams. I do have a quick question, and I think it would be mainly for administration on this one, because you kind of hit this at the last meeting. The way it's worded, where it says all transactions, is that something that's going to put us a hindrance on maybe some larger scale transactions that we have on a day-to-day, that we could maybe limit this to maybe extracurricular, where you're going to see the majority of these funds, to where it doesn't leave it an open-ended question, or where, because there's some things that we do that you may not want to take cash for because it's more of a hassle for the main administration.
So I had a meeting with the high school principals Friday, and we went through some other policies. We can make this work. So,
Okay.
so
So
the
even with the
administration
language.
supports and agrees with this, and I want to work with you on the other policies. The thing you said about the other policies, my concern was, if you'll go to the top of this section, this one only addresses student fees, fines, and charges. The gates and admissions seems to be where you also, and that's in another section. So we also want to address it there. So I think we have a lot of good solutions coming from the principals. I think you're going to be happy with what we can do and how we can make sure if someone wants to pay cash, they can. If someone doesn't want to pay cash, and also working out the issues with the credit card fees and how that would be handled, and as well as making sure we have a good dual control anywhere cash is being taken. So I think we're going to, you made a very good point about people needing to have the option. I think we can make a way to make those options work.
In the future, I think it's going to be less and less of an issue. As, cash is going to get used less and less and less.
I did have one more thing, and I don't know if it falls to us. I know the law recently changed where businesses cannot charge the fee to the consumer
Or debit cards.
Okay, and we're going to follow that, I'm guessing, as well in our,
Correct,
okay.
correct.
That wouldn't be up to us, that would be up to the processing company, whoever's processing.
But that's what I'm saying, I want to make sure that our process that
We're in the
using-
process of trying to find out if our system can even tell the difference between a debit card or a credit card. So,
Yeah, I just wanna make sure we're-
once we move to the place that they always have the option for cash, well, then the processing fee is really it's a convenience fee at that point.
It's up to them.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure, because I know that was a new thing that came from this last session.
But you can't, as you pass some of the gas stations, you'll see it says cash price, credit price. You can't do that with a debit card.
Right. Okay.
Look, I appreciate you working with us on this. I know it's not a popular topic around some of your employees. I heard about it today from some of the teachers,
Yep, me too.
but this is not a dig on administration or finance trying to get them to do more work. This is simply representing the people in my district that have said, we want to still use cash. Not all of them, but some of them, so.
Okay.
So when you said that we're going to be able to take cash, is it still going to be like central office or the family center? Is it only going to be the places where you can accept the cash?
So in talking to the high school principals, we were going to try to set it up where they could, because they have full-time financial account clerks. And all of the principals, and I'll bring the recommendations, and it's up to you to decide what we're going to do. They would rather not take cash on campuses. They would rather us have a central place to be able to take cash. Anywhere that we can't take, this is just my recommendation, anywhere that we can't facilitate cash, then they don't need to be charged the fee. Okay, it's not to their convenience, it's now to our convenience. So I want to work with you before we come back to the next meeting, go through the different, those three policies and work on something that addresses all of the issues. If somebody's needing to pay $1,500 for their dancer or their cheer, that either they can do a credit card and they're going to pay the fee because they're choosing to do it, they can write a check, or we will have a convenient way for them to pay cash.
Any more discussion?
So the principals don't particularly want to take cash, but they'll take the check, right?
Right.
I mean,
'cause-
that's considered cash, but,
well, a check isn't, you have to deposit a check.
okay, but I mean,
Cash, you just-
They weren't against that. They
No,
were good.
no.
Okay. Any more discussion? Any other questions from Mr. McNeely or administration? Any public input on this particular agenda item? Because this one is a change to our policy, I will ask for a roll call vote, Ms. Amanda.
Mr. Piazza?
Yes.
Mr. Anthony?
Yes.
Mr. Westmoreland? Yes. Ms. Abrams?
Yes.
Ms. Dominguez?
Yes.
Mr. Duncan?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Toller?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, so item C has been passed by the board. We have no other agenda items on the agenda for the night. No public input has been submitted for this policy committee. Therefore, we will adjourn. Thank you, guys.